There is a massive upswing in the voter turnout in Kashmir Valley. Zero violence was reported during voting in Baramulla with 59% voter turnout. In fact, Baramulla has broken previous poll records. It was the highest in the last 8 Lok Sabha polls. The highest turnout previously achieved in this particular constituency was way back in 1996, and it was then just 46.65%. Large number of women, relatives of active militants, even the cadre of banned Jamaat-e-Islami came out to cast their vote in this election. Earlier, remember, a poll percentage increased from 4% in 2019 to 44% in Sopore. 38.49% was recorded in Srinagar parliamentary constituency as well. So this is certainly a big thumbs up to democratic institutions, which we are seeing in complete contrast to what we had seen in before the abrogation of Article 370. Let me bring in my guest. Dr. Syed Zafar Islam is the spokesperson of the BJP, joins us live. Ifra Jan, spokesperson of the National Conference. Mohit Bhan, PDP spokesperson. And Professor Gul Mohammad Wani is political scientist. Beginning with you, Mohit Bhan, no call for boycotts, no violence, and in fact, a lot of enthusiasm with which people have received these elections. So certainly you would say that abrogation of Article 370 has only strengthened democratic institutions.
Obviously, thank you, Marya, for asking me that. Maybe that is your, understanding that abrogation of Article 370 is paving way for that. But how I look at it, or how I understand it here in Kashmir, is that, like you yourself said, 1996 was 1 year when, after 87, the elections happened for the first time after a gap of say almost 5-6 years. And then at that time also people massively came out and voted, and still that numbers are yet to be broken in many of the parliamentary constituencies. So I think whenever there has been an environment where people have not been able to voice their anger or voice their concerns in a democratic way, there has always been an uptick in the voting percentage. So 2019 cannot be made the benchmark for it. Rather, we should compare it to 1996, when after a gap of 5-6 years, elections happened. Exactly like 2019, there are no assembly elections since then, and people
Will you be making that kind of comparison? Let me bring in Zafar as well. Dr. Islam, how would you respond to this? That the comparison with the 1996 and previous, the fact that it has broken all records of 8 Lok Sabha polls should not be recounted. In fact, we should go with the benchmark of the PDP spokesperson.
See, any sane person will only judge based on the development which has taken place after the abrogation of 370. People are happy, people feel comfortable, there is safety and security all across the valley.
Then why
militancy has come off.
Okay, let him speak.
Number of attacks, the stone throwing,
Rohit, let him speak, please. He heard you patiently. You should extend the same courtesy to him. You should extend the same courtesy to him, Rohit Bhan. You should extend the same courtesy to him. He heard you patiently. Go ahead.
Mr. Mohit Bhan,
yes.
if you should know the basic decency.
Yes, go ahead.
I heard you.
Zafar Islam.
When
yes.
you will turn, again you will have your turn, and then you can speak.
Zafar, go ahead.
All I am trying to tell you that prior to 2019, I am sure the people were unhappy because of various reasons, because of the PDP, because of the Umar Abdullah, because of the various other issues. But we were addressing every single concern. Now, after the abrogation of 370, the welfare schemes, which has now started reaching to the common man on the street, and common man in Jammu and Kashmir has started testing the benefits of a good governance, of the good government. So now the governance model of the Modi government actually has ensured that they are the beneficiaries. They should remain the beneficiary, and they have been with the beneficiary. As a result, they have come out in large number to vote for the Honorable Prime Minister, to vote for the democratic process which has been now fully implemented in the valley, and people have had the freedom and flexibility to cast their votes. Earlier they were always frightened that if they come out to vote, then perhaps they will be targeted.
I would tend to agree with that assessment, Zafar, particularly what you said, that people have come out to cast their vote, to showcase whatever their sentiments are. Just look at those long queues of women coming out. Ifra, are you of the opinion that this is certainly a good sign? Just let me tell you one more data. In 2019, Srinagar saw just 14.4% voter turnout. And now we have seen that 38%. Don't you see this as a positive shift?
Is it a good thing that people are coming out in large numbers? Yes, absolutely. Is it a good sign? No, it's not. Let me explain how. Is this sign a sign of people actually coming out and giving their support to the Prime Minister and policies that were put in place after the abrogation of 370? If that was the case, BJP would not have shied away from fielding candidates in Kashmir. In fact, on 3 seats, they have no candidates. Then what are these people coming out and voting for? Marya ji, in Kashmir, after the abrogation, our newspaper, whatever channels of dissent people had, they may have included protesting on the roads, peaceful protests. They may have included writing articles. They may have included writing Facebook social media posts. Almost all of that has been criminalized. There are no protests. Even peaceful protests are not allowed. If you write something...
My point is, first we saw the panchayat polls and now parliamentary elections. The point here is that people, women, men are coming out. No, madam. Madam, listen to me, please. They are coming out and expressing their views. It's not about that they are celebrating and saying, voting in favor of the BJP. I'm not saying that either. My point is limited. They are coming out and casting their vote, irrespective of the party they are voting for. Go ahead, Ifra. Ifra on the screen.
You're not allowing the panelists to speak.
Ifra.
Yes, so why are people coming out in large numbers? The people are coming out in large numbers because every other channel of dissent has been criminalized, a channel of dissent that otherwise the constitution guarantees us. And now people believe that voting is the only way they can express their anger against the ruling party, which is why the people are coming out. It's a good thing people are showing their support for the democratic process.
Yes.
It's a bad thing because every other channel of democracy has been, dissent has been criminalized. One last thing, Marya ji, I saw you when you said that relatives of militants are coming out and supporting. Good thing. If you're showcasing the support that relatives of militants are giving and putting faith in democratic process, then maybe it's a good time to not hound them for passports, not hound their properties, not call them to police thanas every day. Maybe we need to let them be now.
So far, the reports that had come from Kashmir Valley was about, boycott calls, grenade attacks. But just look at the electoral participation. Would you say that this is a welcome shift, irrespective of who wins? It is about people saying that they want to participate in this democratic exercise.
Yeah, Marya, let us in fact be clear on one important issue, that as far as the faith of the people, faith of the electorate in the democratic process, in the electoral process is concerned, this statement has been made by the people even in the valley of Kashmir much before what you see in 2024. Please record some of the electoral exercises that have happened over a period of time, even if you can actually count from 1996 only. Say 2019 to 2011 panchayat elections saw 80% participation. Although in a sort of a society, in a sort of a place which has seen a lot of conflict, a lot of violence, the holding of panchayat elections is always very difficult compared to the parliamentary elections. Now you come to 2011 state assembly elections, it's a massive participation of the people.
Yes, Professor Vani, I'm talking about post-abrogation of Article 370. Post-2019.
Certainly, if you talk about post-2019 abrogation of Article 370, it is again a very important and very bold political statement that has been made by the people of all regions and sub-regions of the Jammu and Kashmir. For one or two reasons. One, that people have actually given a sort of a vent to their anger, political anger, that they have not been heard over a period of time. One. Second, that people wanted to register something very important, that people are important. And it is very important that over a period of time, the impression that has gone is that people are not important, that people's representatives are not important. Here's an opportunity for managers of Indian state to actually take cognizance of
Okay.
this thing, that people are there.
Zafar?
See,
Hello?
they can have their own views, but the general public and especially the beneficiaries are actually this testimony of their concern, which has been addressed now after the abrogation of 370, because nobody used to really bother about their life, their way of living, their concerns. This government of Umar Abdullah, or for that matter PDP, never heard their concern. But after the abrogation, I think there is a government, there is a system, there is a policy which actually benefits them. And that is why they have come out in large number. They could have supported in 2019 also, they could have supported in 2014 also, if they really wanted to show their anger for something or the other. But the fact that they have come out in large number only suggests that they are happy now. They want to exercise what is their right. They want to participate in the democratic process. They want that their representative, whoever they want them to win, their representative goes to the parliament. And I think I'm not claiming whether it's BJP or a XYZ, whichever party, but it is the democratic process which is being which has been implemented and which is being exercised.
Yes. So I think the point that you're making is important here again, because Mohit, it's not about who they voted for. The fact is that they came out to vote. And that is what is being lauded here.
So let me tell Zafar Saab and your viewers also 3 points. First point, Zafar Saab was talking about development and people are happy with the development. And we are talking about the huge turnout of people to the polling stations. It is great. We appreciate that. But who is bringing these people to the polling stations? It is the regional parties like People's Democratic Party, National Conference, the old parties, who have their roots in all the villages, all the corners of Kashmir, who are bringing these people to the voting station. It is not the BJP which is bringing, or their policies which is bringing people to the polling stations. Had that been the case, then BJP would have fielded, like they fielded in 2019 their candidates. They would have fielded their candidates in Kashmir, and they did not. Second thing, you're talking about development, and it has reached people's doorstep. Such is the condition of the development that after the abrogation of 2019, the panchayat polls and the municipal polls, which were due for 6 months now, have not been conducted till now. Given the security on the ground issue it's not this, the time is not suitable, the environment is not suitable to conduct the elections, and these are the elections which are the pet projects of the Prime Minister, and they have been halted. The third thing, what Zafar Saab has repeatedly been saying, is again that people are happy and are coming out only to vote because of the policies of the government. So I would, with all humility, like to tell Zafar Saab that you wait till 4th. One, that your candidates are not
fine.
there. Yes, your A, B, and C teams are
Why
fighting
didn't
the
you
elections.
field candidates,
You will
Zafar,
see
is the
their
point.
fate on 4th
Let me
of June,
respond.
that how much people have voted in your favor and how much people have voted in the favor of the narrative which the regional parties like People's Democratic Party have taken to the people's doorstep. Let us see, will the BJP's manifesto win in Jammu and Kashmir, or the regional party like Jammu and Kashmir People's Democratic Party, its manifesto will shine in the parliamentary elections. We will see that on 4th of June.
Okay.
Let me respond. See, it is not that important that who wins the election, or it is important as a government. It is important for us to ensure that free and fair election is conducted, and people's
Then
participation.
why not
is
the
there. And
panchayat
that is a
elections, the
testimony of
three-tier
free and
democracy
fair
you always
election,
talk
first
about? Why
time
don't
held.
you talk about
No.
the panchayat elections which has not been
Allow
conducted for last
me
6
to
months?
complete. I've heard
The
you.
term is over. The municipality elections are pending for last 6 months.
Arey yaar,
If
I
you
have
are
heard
so
you.
confident about the development, if you are so confident about the
Can I
measures
just-
you have
can I
taken
just
in the
respond?
interest of the people, then you should have conducted the panchayat elections on time. You should have conducted
Marya,
the
I think he's repeating
municipal
the same
elections
thing.
on time.
Okay, Mohit, you have spoken. You have made your point. You have asked. You have
No, but-
made.
but-
you have
but-
made your
but
point,
he's-
and you have
Mohit,
said
moving
3
away from
points.
the discussion.
So you have to
He's
no.
not
Because
answering the
Mohit, Mr.
relevant
no.
question.
There are
He must answer
two
the relevant
regional
question.
parties
Mr. Mohit.
representatives on the show. So Zafar will have to respond to both of them. So he should speak
Mr.
now.
Mohit.
Please go ahead.
Mr. Mohit. Mr. Mohit, have some patience and have some decency. I think you lack.
No, I
both.
have enough
Please
decency.
have some
You
decency.
have to talk
I
on
have
the
heard you,
on the
and I'm
point.
responding
Okay,
to
let's
you.
have
I
Zafar on
to
the screen now,
divert.
please.
You don't have decency. Just keep your mouth shut. Enough of it.
Okay, go ahead,
do
Zafar.
not interrupt.
Go ahead, Zafar. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm responding to you. Just because interrupting, you're not going to get any answer from me. I have to respond to what the anchor has asked. If you have some question,
Go ahead.
tell
Go ahead,
the anchor to
Zafar.
ask. Okay?
Zafar, go ahead. Yeah.
Still, I'm responding to you, but please have some patience.
Yeah.
All I'm trying to tell you that first free and fair election to be conducted, that has been conducted, and without any incident which has been reported. It's a big win for the democracy.
Yes.
We are talking about democratic process. Whether BJP has fielded a candidate, supported a candidate, it's an irrelevant thing as far as the process of democracy which has been implemented, executed, and participated by the people. That was the mandatory thing. As far as the other election is concerned, that will also happen. I'm telling you that even the assembly election will be conducted soon, and BJP will participate. Here, of course, strategically, we have supported another candidate. Likewise, in many other regions, we have alliance partner, we have supported candidate where we feel that it is the chances of the other person winning is higher than our candidate. It is strategic decision of the party to support someone. But it is unfair to make that statement that just because we have not fielded, our initial responsibility of conducting free and fair election was not priority for us. That was the priority, highest priority for us, more than fielding our own candidate. That we hope you understand now. And other election, what you're talking about, whether it's a municipal body, I was there for 2 months when BDC election was conducted. I know people's participation is now, the faith in the government is there, the faith after the abrogation, the people are the beneficiary. They know that the earlier system was a corrupt system, now there is a very system which actually benefits them. So slowly their participation level is increasing, and the environment is also becoming congenial to conduct even the assembly election. And I'm sure that all the election will take place soon, and you will have the opportunity to participate, and you will stop criticizing the government and focus on public and people, where your party is slowly people going away from your party.
Ifra, a quick response from you, and then I'll bring in Professor Wani.
You see, I have 2 points to make. Number one, it's laughable. It's not only ironic, it's laughable to hear the BJP spokesperson talk about how amazing it is that BJP people are coming out in large numbers and how great the democratic process is. Why is it laughable? Because it's the BJP that for last 6 years did not conduct an assembly election in Jammu and Kashmir and kept the same people away. And now that they're saying they're going to conduct an assembly election, it's not because they felt the need to, they felt the shame to. It's because the Supreme Court had to step in for the first time in the history of India and tell them that this is not acceptable and they have to conduct an election. So I do not want to hear any stories of how amazing this support and how amazing these lines are from the BJP government that's kept the same people away from assembly elections for past 6 years. Number two, my second point, short point would be, Zafar Sahab very rightly said, he said that the BJP is not directly participating in assembly elections, but they are supporting the other candidates in Jammu and Kashmir. I mean, in the interest of democracy and in the interest of transparency, I would like to ask Zafar Sahab, who are these political candidates you're supporting and which are the political parties you're supporting? Because when National Conference is in an alliance, it's an alliance that is public. It's an alliance that we've
Okay, so
spoken
that's a
of
political
again and again.
that's a political
respond.
argument. You can make that political argument. Zafar, do you wish to respond to that?
No.
See,
Who are the
no,
candidates
all I'm
and
trying to
who
tell
are
you
these
that
candidates that you
in
are
the state
supporting?
of Jammu and Kashmir, Marya, I'm responding to that. In the state of Jammu and Kashmir, we are fighting on some constituencies. We have fielded our candidate, like for instance Udhampur. There are constituencies where we feel that we still the strategic decision was not to field a candidate. It is perfectly fine. As I said, that is perfectly
You
fine
said
whether
you're
we
supporting
support
the
or
other
not to
candidates.
support,
You
field
would
or not to
have
field,
candidates now.
who they vote or not to vote.
The secrecy.
I am saying that throughout. No, I think you are just a sec. You may not have heard properly. There are many constituencies, like for instance Manipur, like for instance Arunachal Pradesh. We have not fielded candidate, but we have openly supporting and we have made the announcement
So who are the
that we are
candidates
supporting
you're
XYZ
supporting in
candidate.
Kashmir, sir?
There are
That's
many
all
such
I'm asking.
constituencies where we are not fielding candidate.
So who are the candidates
In
you're
Kashmir,
supporting in Kashmir?
no, in
That's
Kashmir,
all
I'm saying that
asking.
there are these. No, we are not supporting anyone in Valley. We are fighting only
You
in Jammu.
just said you're supporting
But we are not
somebody,
supporting
which is
anyone
why
in
you've
Valley. We have not fielded our
So
candidate.
you're not
But
supporting
we'll fight.
anyone. You've not fielded anyone. That means you've surrendered in Kashmir. It doesn't surrender
I
in
said
Kashmir. That is very clear. You're
No.
surrendering.
Ifra, you don't have to heckle him.
People would have asked you to leave.
You don't have to heckle him. He asked you asked a
you-
question.
you're-
He is responding. We can have a very civilized discussion. Yes.
I gave you very honest response. Honest response that as part of our strategy, many constituencies, whether it's Jammu and Kashmir or elsewhere, where we don't field candidates, but we support the candidate. Wherever we take the decision to support the candidate, we make it public that this is the candidate of this political party we are supporting. In Jammu and Kashmir, we fought in Jammu. We ignored. We may have not fielded candidate in the valley. Strategically, it may suit us. Strategically, it may not suit you. But we must have felt that it is best not to suit. May not be appropriate for us to field the candidate now. But in assembly election,
Because
we'll
you knew you
like
would have lost.
in BDC election, we
Because
fought.
you knew that
In
people
assembly
were
election,
angry
we will
on
look at
ground.
it.
Because you knew that you were
It doesn't
facing
matter
defeat.
whether
Which is why you don't
whether
feel the
we lose or
candidate, which is why you won with
no, even
elections,
after
which is why the
even
people
even
If
after
I think
abrogation of
the
citizenship, we
answer
fought
has
BDC
been given,
election. For your
irrespective of
information,
whether the
our
BJP
candidate
wins or
was there in
loses,
BDC
it is the
election.
democracy which is being celebrated by the people of the valley, and I think that's the important aspect of it. For them to come out and cast their vote is anger or happiness, whatever be the reason, they are coming out and saying that they want to participate in this exercise. Yes, Professor Vani, quickly, 30 seconds.
Yes, one or 2 points I would like to make. One, in response to what Zafar Saab has said, that we are not contesting there for some reasons, etc. It is very important that a national party which has taken some very important, what you call as extraordinary steps in relation to Jammu and Kashmir, cannot take a back seat for all times to come. At some point of time, they have to come to the forefront. Because you just cannot actually say it's a very responsible political party, and as a responsible political party, you need to come to the forefront and actually put across your point of view and try to mobilize public opinion and garner the support of the people on the type of initiatives that you take. Marya, what is your next question? I could not get it.
Yes, my point is that, irrespective of which party wins, it is the people that have shown that they want to participate in a democratic exercise that is taking place in the world's largest democracy, which is India.
Yeah, that is absolutely fine. And
Yes.
that is absolutely something that any political theorist, any political activist can, these are the type of, low-hanging fruit, I must say, as far as this parliamentary election in Valley particularly is concerned, be it Srinagar or Baramulla or after some time Anantnag also. But 2 or 3 things are the messages, loud messages from these are one, that people are very important.
Yes.
Let us actually underline this, that people are very important.
Yes.
One. Number 2, that over a period of time, while as we used to argue that people of Jammu and Kashmir are alienated from India. I am sorry to say that over a period of time, the larger impression is that the India is alienated from Kashmir. That deficit
Professor Vani,
needs
I'm
to
not too sure
overcome.
if after this kind of historic turnout, the highest in Baramulla in the last eight Lok Sabha elections, we can continue to make that interpretation. But thank you so much for your time.